Good morning, everyone. Polynikes here with a tournament report for you. Today we're doing a tournament at Mythic Games in Santa Cruz, California, and we have prize support from Mo Games. What's better than games? Mo Games. And in full disclosure, this is my online store that I'm trying to promote, so hope you like it. Okay, my first list this time is going to be an avatar list, as you can see down here. Let me grab my pointer while we're looking at that there. I guess I want my pen. Yeah. Okay, so I'm playing an avatar. To support him, we have a Kurgat. I love my Kurgat boarding shotgun. He has a slave drone. We have Kurnow. The white noise is the most important part about Kurnow. As you'll see when I deploy my avatar, Kurnow is in reserve. The avatar is not, because I want people focused on the avatar. And usually they'll put a visor on him or some such, and then Kurnow goes down. Now they can see I have white noise, which they couldn't when they put their visor down. White noise goes up, avatar can kill anything that's trying to pin him down. Of course, linked teams disrupt this, but that's the plan. And of course, there's a Speculo to disrupt the linked teams, who is the other reserve. With Strategos level 3, I'll have 2 reserves. Dottaratsai, sort of as a bodyguard for the avatar and smoke throwing. Q-Drone HMG, because it's a great unit. I did decide in this event that I probably would have preferred the Q-Drone Plasma, as the avatar needs a little more protection up close, not so much far away. So Q-Drone Plasma if I play a similar list. Then we have a Nexus Hacker. Again, all this stuff supports the avatar, so I like him for his nullifier. If you're worried the enemy is going to do some serious hacking, you just drop a nullifier, they can't hack your avatar, you don't worry about it. We got an Icadron for general purpose and 2 Imatrons. I generally don't like Imatrons in limited insertion lists, but yeah, all the stuff's expensive, so there they are. All right, my second list, which I call Tea Time, is a list design in progress mainly for fighting against Ariadna or specifically Tartary Army Corps. It has all things that they hate, right? We got visors, we got Dottaratsais, we got 3 mine layers, and then we got, again, my Kurgat, because he's amazing, a couple drones, a sensor, our drones to drop sniffers for the sensor, Gakis, and I like to have a hacker out there, even if I don't necessarily have a drone to upgrade. I was able to upgrade my normal Morat hacker to a Roto Killer hacker, exactly the same points cost, actually less SWC, because I don't have a Q-Drone to upgrade. I had noticed in my games, particularly against Ariadna, that the Q-Drone just gets killed by a surprise-shotting sniper from across the board or something like that. So we ditched the Q-Drone, and we were able to make the normal Morat hacker into a Roto hacker, who's much more effective even in a non-hacking environment, right? Versus other hackers, he's great with the hacking device, and with his killer hacker, being an EI killer hacker, he has Maestro, which is outstanding. And then of course he's also got boarding shotgun mines, mimetism, right? He's medium infantry, he can forward deploy. This model has been performing stellar for me, whether as the killer hacker or the assault hacker in some other lists. He's great. Okay, first game, my combined army versus Toha. We are playing Power Pack. Objectives, right? Control the antennas, control the enemy console, prevent the enemy from controlling your console. And this is the one with the weird deployment zones. Once you get the corners of the board, 16 inches up, 12 inches in, and yeah, it makes for a really weird deployment. All right, this is my opponent's list. He's obviously playing Toha. You can take a look at it. This is, I guess, all kind of normal Toha stuff except maybe the Cube Yager. I love the Cube Yager. I use him a lot. Yeah, take a look at that for a moment. Okay. So I win the lieutenant role, choose to go first. So I'm of course setting up first, but with Strategos level 2. So my reserves will be my Speculo and Kurnow, again to surprise people with white noise if that's necessary. I classified as kidnapping. Sync with the enemy HVT, very unlikely, right? So much easier just to secure it in most cases. I assume on occasion maybe you'll run up to it and sink it and run away with it, but no, it's just much easier to secure it. All right, my opponent is Cass. He's one of our regulars in Santa Cruz, plays Toha, sometimes Tunguska. And you can see we're playing on the board be titled LA Traffic, and it's got really nice city boards. Okay, so deployment. This is my deployment, starting on my right flank. We have our Kurgat, the Q-Drone. This Spec Ops here model is representing my Nexus hacker. And then in the center of the board, there's the 2 Imatrons. One there's another one just behind my picture right there. And this is my HVT sort of in the middle there. Again, deployment zones, right, come over kind of like that. and a little bit over here like that. So she's not in my deployment. She's far enough out. Okay, on my left side, we have the Avatar kind of hiding behind this building. Behind the Avatar, behind this bus back here, is the Ikadron. And up in front of the Avatar, we have the Dotaratsai and Kurnow. Remember, Kurnow was my reserve. And this is the Xenotech who's synced, of course, to Mr. Big Pants himself, the Avatar. Okay, my opponent's deployment on my left flank. We have his lieutenant up here, which is the Rasail boarding team. Chokska peripheral from the lieutenant there. I think this was an HMG Sukiil, and then a Keltar. I'm really bad on Toha names. You can see my reserve over here is the Impersonator. How she's placed is peeking around the side of the porta potty here to just barely see the peripheral right there. My opponent's right flank, another Chokska. This Chokska's center is the missile launcher. Sentinel up on top with a sniper rifle. And I think there's another Sukiil with a HMG maybe. I don't remember the weapon loadout. This is someone who's got a viral combi rifle, you know, some Toa unit. This is another Chokska over here with heavy flamer and such. Okay, this is the beginning of the game. The Impersonator has revealed herself. She takes a shotgun blast like that, which hits the peripheral and splashes onto the guy who's over there. I think it was a McCool, and kills both of them. She then peeks around the corner to the other side and starts putting shotgun shells into these three. There's a mate there, so that takes the first order, and a couple of orders later, you know, the mate's gone, the middle guy's gone, another order later, they're all unconscious. So she's going to continue moving out, or actually she'll re-impersonate and then move out. That's the next picture, yeah. So she's re-impersonated and moved to there. Nobody sees her. She moves again out here, and then is seen by the Kauri Sentinel, who's the sniper on top of the building on the other side of the board. He discovers her, and I forget about that whole 2 levels of impersonation thing and put the model out. Yeah, so she is right over here, spotted as the model, and then the Avatar steps out and kills the Kauri Sentinel from across the board. And yes, we did remember the saturation zone for the mission. And then she's still behind the Rasail who was here, so she vaults over this into close combat and kills the Rasail with the monofilament close combat weapon. Here's where the Avatar has moved to. It peeked around this corner to my right to kill the Kauri Sentinel, and then ended up back over here, kind of looking down this lane here. Kurnow has moved up a little bit and remained prone. The Xenotech's moved up a little bit. I moved up the Q drone, covering more objectives and more backspace over here. But all this was part of a coordinated order with my last order. The Specula moves around the corner here and goes prone. I'm still guarding the enemy Xenotech in case they send someone to sync with it. Maybe they'll run out of orders before they kill her, and I can counterattack and keep them off the Xenotech. But I didn't have an extra order to put her back into impersonation again. So my opponent is down a bunch of orders from the Specula work. He goes for a great move, bringing in his Cube Yager over here. Unfortunately, where he comes in, he has to take a shot from the Nexus with her combi rifle and the Flash Pulse over here. The Nexus misses, Flash Pulse hits, and the Cube Yager is saved because they have BTS-3, which is awesome. So Cube Yager moves up and puts the Ikadron unconscious, and the Nexus misses again. I made a slight mistake here, as you'll see in just a moment. There's a slave drone right here, kind of behind the backhoe. He is within 8 of the Ikadron, and I forgot to take a warning when the Ikadron got shot. Super important, because this guy has stealth. The Cube Yager walks all the way over here, walks over to here, no one can do anything, gets to right here, just behind the line of fire arc of the slave drone, whose line of fire arc's like that. So the Cube Yager moves to here, not using his stealth on this last move, which triggers arrows of turn to face from both of them, and then he walks directly into close combat with the Avatar. This was the most exciting point of the day for sure. And I have to admit, I was, kind of rooting for the Cube Yager, because this is amazing. And the attack isn't that great. It's not that bad. The Cube Yager's on a 14 close combat, Avatar's on an 18. I've got double action, Fizz 17. If I hit him, he'll probably splat. But he's got a monofilament close combat weapon, and he could definitely swipe the Avatar off the board. Yeah, it was really exciting. The Avatar did win the close combat, and the Cube Yager was crushed. Okay, the only other thing my opponent did that turn was his Calypsos appears somewhere around here, moves up. I discover with the Q drone, she shoots at me and misses, and then moves over here and recamos. That's pretty much all that happened there. Okay, this is into my second turn. The avatar moves up, brings up the Xenotech. It took me 2 orders, but I planted the multi-scanner. You'll see that marker here in a moment. This is one of the objectives right here, which of course I'm not getting yet. Looking over this wall, like how his hand's creepily coming over there, you can see the camo token, discovers it, and then Sepsiders her. She gets Sepsidered, and then I use an order using the Eclipsos to secure this objective right here, and then face her back towards her own army just in case. On the other side, I move up the Kurgat. He's really in position here to go for this objective next turn. That's pretty much all he's doing there. At the same time, as the Kurgat moved up, his slave drone ran back here, fixed the Ichadron, and then ran up here. Again, just trying to be closer to the Avatar in case I have to fix it. This was probably a slight mistake also. The slave drone should have been facing this way, just in case there was another QBR coming, or not QBR, because you can't have a second one, but another combat jumper or something like that. Just something coming in on the side. And the Dotaratsai ended his turn. He ran up here, no stealth, triggered arrows, ran again to here, where he just has line of fire to this Chokska, and yeah, just kind of ended it right there. I wanted to do some attacking there or something, but that heavy flamer probably would have killed me, and I decided just to let my opponent deal with it. Here's the marker where we have the multi-scanner down, and the avatar is on suppression fire covering this area. Alright, so my opponent's turn. The guy moves out with his viral combi rifle, shoots the dot, I go for the engage, and he kills me. Dot gets melted. He then runs up the side. Really good use of the Symbiomate here, because he moves out to like right here. I get suppression fire with the avatar through the suppression, but through the avatar, and a shot from the Eclipsos down there. He just keeps moving. He moves right over there and blows his mate when I hit him once or twice with a couple of attacks. Kurnow manages to turn to face him. I think I had him poorly faced like that to start with, but he makes a turn to face roll and flips around. The guy comes around the corner, shoots Kurnow. Kurnow has bioimmunity, which allows him to save versus I think the one viral round that hit him, and then fails his guts kind of around the corner to have cover from any further attacks. Yeah, you can see Kurnow down there. And the last thing my opponent does this turn is the Chokska baggage guy, Heavy Flamer, runs up here and is able to lay his Flamer, not hitting the Xenotech, but hitting the Avatar. I decide to take the Flamer hit and just suppression fire into him. Suppression fire kills the Chokska, and the Flamer hit burns the Avatar, so it takes his ODD off, but doesn't do any damage. All right, moving into my third turn. Avatar moves over here, takes a couple orders, but I eventually shoot because I'm at close range and kill him with the multi-HMG. I then move the slave drone over to fix the ODD. I fail to fix it, and then realize that I'm wasting orders on this. It doesn't really matter if the Avatar has ODD anymore, right? It's done what needs to be done. I need to get the objectives because this is my last turn. So, I guess this is slightly out of order. The engineer acts first, runs up, and gets an objective. And then the Speculo comes back around the corner over here, where there is another Chokska, I believe, Chokska, however you pronounce it. She moves into close combat with it and kills it with her monofilament. Slight mistake, should have just shotgunned it. 2 dice, much more likely to kill it than 1 die that he saves from on a natural 13. But I worked in 1. And then walks over to here. I'm trying to get to this console, but I run out of orders. End up right here. I am securing the HVT. Yeah, that was pretty much the end of the game. The opponent didn't have much in the third turn. I think he was in retreat. Not quite sure about this enemy surviving points there. And of course, it's not Tok. I forgot to change that. It is Toha. All right, so 8-0, major victory. 306 because we still have a baggage bot, and all that we lost was our Dotaratsai. Game 2, Acquisition. This game is going to be against the NCA. I lose the LT roll. He chooses deployment, so I'll be going first. I choose to not use my avatar list, but to use the Charonted list, because they've got a lot of camouflage things, the TO stuff, and I've got visors in this. I think it'll be good. Choosing deployment and acquisition, I used to really like that. I'm really more a fan of going first in acquisition now because of the huge deployment zones. If you watch from my earlier reports, I got tabled by a Nomad player, basically exactly the situation. I chose deployment, he went first, everything was on the 20 or 24 inch line, and he was all over me from order 1. So, acquisition, we all know it. You got 1 tech coffin in the center, consoles on each side, trying to get them. I believe 1 classified. And as I said, 16-inch deployment zone. My classified is test run, which is repair structure. I love that, right? I always have lots of drones and a Kurgat, so it'll be great. Did not get my opponent's army list here. So you'll see the things as I tell you what they are, but I don't have a list to show you. Okay, this is the board. This ends up being the side my opponent sets on, with the 16-inch line being roughly here, if I remember correctly. Maybe a little bit farther up, maybe there, but something like that. This is the side that I'll set up on, and it's right about there. It's a little bit on top of this walkway, I know, because I put somebody up there. So that's where that deployment zone ends. It's really far up. This is one of the objectives. Another one's right here, another one will be off to that. Okay, so I'm deploying first with only one reserve. We have, I guess starting below me here, that camo token is a shrouded mine layer. This is his mine covering that objective. Over here we've got an R drone, a Gaki, my Xenotech who's linked to the Charonted, Kurgat's in this building over here, M drones behind him, got a slave drone attached to the Kurgat, the Ichadron, Imatron there. There's another Imatron way up there, I think, that's scattered up there. I think that's where it is. This is one Dotaratsai, this is the second Dotaratsai. This is the second shrouded mine layer. This token you can barely see is his mine covering the center objective. There you can see it a little better. That's the mine covering the objective. That's the shrouded. Moving along, this is the Roto Killer Hacker. This camo token is the Liberto, and his mine is covering the third objective just right below the Roto, like right there. That's my HVT. We've got an R drone over here on the edge, and just next to the R drone, the second Gaki. My reserve is not down yet. Yeah, there's the Gaki and the R drone there. Okay. My opponent, of course I don't know it, but he's got a Swiss Guard HMG on the stairs, actually, like right here, hidden. We've got a Tech B, a Fugazi, Traumadoc, the Oxbot Heavy Flamer with the Auxilia, slave drone for the Traumadoc. This is Ada Swanson in the middle up there. Yeah, Ada up there. With the Fusilier link here, Fusilier missile launcher, Fusilier. I never actually found out, but I think this one was the lieutenant because it's the most hidden. Got another Fugazi there, another Auxilia. Its Oxbot is in this corner here. Moving on, yeah, there's Ada Swanson in the middle. Okay. And on his right flank, you can see another Fugazi down there, another Auxilia there. This is his HVT, Angus, right next to my net rod, which is scattered over there. Okay, my reserve is the Mach-Rep Tracker. She's right on the edge of my deployment zone there. She's prone up on top of that. My opponent's reserve is a Blackfriar who's connected to his Xenotech here. Remember, he's medium infantry, so forward deployed, so he's like 20 inches up on the board. We'd agreed there's no line of fire underneath this staircase, so he is indeed facing back towards my opponent's board edge, but you know he's pretty well covered right there. I think this is a bit of a mistake because I'm deployed 16 inches up, and he's deployed 20 inches up with this guy, and if you lose the guy who's holding your Xenotech, it's just a pain to come and resync it, right? You might fail, you gotta spend orders getting it. If you fail, it runs away from you. You can end up wasting a lot of orders like that. So when I see this, I try to capitalize on it, and that's one of my primary targets in turn one is to kill this Blackfriar. Okay, so turn one, first thing that happens, as you can see it's no longer here, the Gaki, who was next to the Xenotech, runs up this way with his impetuous order and gets hit by like 3 missiles from the Link team. He has to use the hit mode because the Xenotech, but the Gaki doesn't crit dodge basically and is killed. Okay, other impetuous orders, the Dotaratsai are running around, they're all running towards the Blackfriar, which is the closest one. So one runs up, throws a smoke underneath the bridge in front of the Mach-Rep. The other one does the same thing. And the other Gaki just runs up. Here's the Gaki attacking the Blackfriar. The first thing that happened there was the Mach-Rep stood up, remember inside smoke, and plucked off all the AROs that were going to try to stop the Gaki. It was basically just like 2 Fugazis who could see when the Gaki came over a wall. So she killed them. I think it only took 1 order. And then the Gaki climbing pluses over the wall, gets to the other side of this little ice outcropping, which triggers the ARO, right? So then I just walk around the corner into close combat. I love when my Gaki get to do anything, especially when they get to explode. It's great, right? So I get in there, I attack him in close combat. The Blackfriar crits me and kills the Gaki, which explodes. Blackfriar fails its save and is killed by the shock. And then we realize that the Xenotech is right there, definitely within template or blast template range, which cancels the attack, right? Because you can't put a template down on the Xenotech. So the explosion doesn't happen, the Blackfriar survives. Blurry picture, sorry. This is another smoke from a dot as the Charonted moves up here. I don't think he was really seeing anything at this point. He was just kind of moving around. Here's you can see the Link team there. What happened here was the mock rep again. She kind of is moving along the ledge down here in the lower right, kind of like that. And she gets line of fire to the Link leader, who's in this corner over here. And she guns her down. There's a female Fusilier. It wasn't a great shot. I was 4 dice on 12s because, you know, range and plus range for the HMG, minus for his cover. And the Fusilier is shooting back on 12s as well. 2 dice on 12s. So, not the best firefight, but it worked out really well. Breaks the Link. And then the Charonted is on, right? I get another smoke cloud on him, and he moves up, and he kills this Fusilier with an HMG. Then he kills this Fusilier with the HMG. And then he kills this Auxiliaire right here. And eventually positions himself right here, kind of covering that side. Blurry picture again, sorry. But the R drone runs up over here onto this corner. Importantly, getting with range of this hacker. This is the Aleph hacker that has no in-cap, assault hacking device, and lightning. Sorry, I don't know the names of all the Alice models. Tries to oblivion the R drone and fails. It's important now that we're in hacker range here with the repeater for my my Rodoc, we'll get to in a moment. Okay, so still I want to kill the Blackfriar, right? So I bring up my Liberto. He kind of comes around the corner over here. From right here, he gets a chain colt on him. I put a chain colt on him, but he saves that. So I come around the corner here. I believe I don't go into close combat. I just stand right next to him, and I just shotgun him, and that does work and kills the Blackfriar. And then I think I don't even know if I had the right sense to get his facing well. I think his facing was actually like this at that point, off to my right of the screen. Okay, so here's the Rodoc hacker. First thing I do is I want to hack that Aleph hacker and take it out. And I realize that it has no wound in cap. So Maestro, which is like my best option, it really isn't that great. It cannot take her out. You just keep putting her into no wound in cap, which is just terrible. So I go for Trinity, which is shock, which will kill her, right? And through a firewall, right? So I should be okay because she's not a killer hacker. But she has lightning, which gives me -6. And I don't really like it once I realize the numbers, but I've already declared it, and we both roll, we both crit on the first action. And then thinking about it for a long time, I decide to do it again. Because I don't want him in the active turn doing it to me. Then he's going to burst to me with that lightning through the repeater, right? And it'll be just as bad, but I'll be 1 die instead of 3. Maybe I could do Red Rum or do Maestro to try to stay alive, right? But I didn't like it. So I did it again, and that time I won. And I did indeed kill her with the shock from Trinity. All right, that was the end of my turn. So over to my opponent's turn. My Liberto was right here, not touching the Blackfriar. My opponent decides that he wants to kill the Liberto pretty quickly, and it ends up not happening quickly. It takes, like, I believe 5 orders. He's dodging on 16s with his hyperdynamics. This Fusilier comes around the corner, takes a shot, and it dodges like over to here trying to get cover, but not quite. The Tech B comes over here, shoots with his pistol, makes a save. Somebody else shoots from over there, I think it's the Doctor, and like I dodge. Eventually Ada Swanson stands up and shoots him with an SMG, crits him with a shock round and kills him right there. I knew I was getting greedy with all those dodges. He survived like 4 attacks, and I almost just laid a mine in response to Ada. I obviously with hindsight should have, but I was enjoying dodging with him and wasting my enemy's orders. Okay, so there's the Xenotech, the Libertos have been there. You can see down here, here's the Doctor who shot at it. Here's the Tech B who shot at it. And the things are all just kind of moving around there. The Doctor also brings up its slave drone from over here and kills this Fusilier. The opponent does not spend a command token to re-roll that. Okay, we're getting pretty far along in the game now. We didn't get a lot of pictures due to tournament play. This is actually in my opponent's turn 3, right? The Swiss Guard has come out. He's come out over here, and he's fired down, put down a Shrouded who was there, and that was pretty much it. And it ended up just moving up to like right here. You can see my Charonted on the top of this building, who's been working his way across the building, killing a couple of things. This might be actually the end of my opponent's turn 2, what the picture is, but I'll walk you through what happened. So my Rodoc, who was over here, jumps up off the wall, gets the objective down here, and then makes his way across this gap to the other objective. You can kind of see this is his head standing right there. This is me forgetting that the center objective is a Tech Coffin and not another console. I was going over there to hit the button on the console, which is total waste of time and orders because it's not a console. You can't hit the button. What he should have done is stayed standing on this objective and maybe cybermasked to make himself a little harder to kill there. But he needed to be over there, not over there. That was total waste of time and orders. I forgot what the objective was. The Schronted, who's worked his way to the top over here, killing a couple things on the way, eventually is able to get line of fire through a smoke cloud to the Swiss guard, who's camoed, right? But I have MS-3, so I discover him and then kill him with my HMG. This Dotaratsai you see here has worked his way up into close combat with Ada Swanson. This was like the biggest slap fight I've ever seen. The game will eventually end, as we'll see in a moment. Yeah, with 2 Dotaratsais in close combat with Ada Swanson, like 4 or 5 attacks later, and nobody has been killed. We were joking that, you know, she's actually a Shasvasti, so she's really part of the combined army. So the Dotaratsai get up to her and they're like, "Hey, how's it going, Ada?" And she's like, "Good, but we gotta fight, otherwise they'll think that, you know, that you'll blow my cover." And they just like fought a lot and choreographed fighting, nothing happens. All right, here's the Charonted, who has spent his last couple orders climbing down. That was, yeah, that's right. This is my turn 3. That was my opponent's turn 2 when the Swiss Guard came out. The Charonted spent a couple orders climbing down, couldn't quite fit right here because my camo token was in the way, so I had to spend another order walking over here. So he's touching the objective, he's my data tracker. This is the Xenotech who's walked all the way around the building and is now also touching the objective. Here's the Shrouded that went unconscious from the Swiss Guard. And my opponent's last turn, also on my third turn here, the Kurgat moves up and secures this objective. He's also controlling it by touching it, unlike the Roadhog who ran off for no reason. My opponent's third turn, he is in loss of, he's in retreat. So he spends a command token so this Auxilia is not affected. Auxilia steps around the corner and kills my R-drone, hoping to prevent me from holding his HVT so he can secure the other HVT on the other side. But this camo token is a Shrouded Mine Layer, is within 8, and so prevents that. And here's kind of an overview of the end of the game on the other side of the board. Right? You saw this from a different angle, but that's the Charonted. There's Ada with her friends slap fighting. There's the dead Swiss Guard. There's the completely ignored objective. And there's my HVT there, which he was securing, or attempting to secure, with the Oxbot and the, I guess the Auxilia over there. All right, that was the end of that game. And again, not sure exactly on my opponent's surviving points. It was about 60. I know he was in retreat. And yeah, I lost a few things that time. Okay, on to game 3. Game 3 is Firefight. Tournament organizers out there, I'm really sick of Firefight being the last mission in a tournament. It's not my favorite mission. It's always going to be against a good player, and it just encourages, you know, very, I'll say stingy play, because you got to get points up and then hide. And if your opponent manages to get points up on you, then you got to creep out until you get it and then hide. And there's a lot of, I don't think it's a very fun mission, honestly. I guess that's where it goes. But I lose the lieutenant role. He decides to go first, which is fine with me. I probably would have gone first if I won the lieutenant role, and possibly the Specula could have done some damage. But it's fine. I have Shooter's level 3. He gets no reserves, and I will get him. So yeah. Yeah, Firefight, right? Kill more specialists, kill more lieutenants. I am using my avatar list, and it's total all eggs in one basket strategy. Avatar will be the data tracker. The idea is, especially when going second, to just kind of fudge around, not give up too many points, kill what I can, and then the last turn, run the avatar until it doesn't die, right? If it ends on 1 wound, that's fine. Can't be possessed, so if they immobilize it, that's fine, as long as it's out there killing things. Right. Yeah, Panoplies 1, and Classifieds 2, worth 1 each. And again, 16-inch deployment zones. Very unlikely you're going to utilize that when going second, right? I don't. I basically deploy it on my board edge to cover my board edge, because you can walk on airdroppers anywhere, and to make it harder for my opponent to come kill my things. This game is against Barakil and his Varunan army. This is the army list. The camo tokens I thought were pretty see-through in this one. He deploys his, where are they, the Helots? He deploys them with limited camo and not decoy in this mission, which is fine. That's a great choice. I like to use it. Yeah, there's 2 of them I remember. And the 2 Zulu Cobras with jammers. Again, great units, jammers wonderful. I don't feel terribly threatened by it, partially because I use a lot of Morats, which you'll see when that comes relevant. I'll make some comments on it. But yeah, Otherwise, this is his list. I love Crocman. He's wonderful. Bunch of Fusiliers, bunch of Camus. Yeah. Okay, so this is our board. This is the side that I'll end up deploying on. You can see my opponent getting ready to deploy over there. Most notably, this building, which becomes very important later on in the game. There's a door on this side only and no windows. Okay, this is my opponent's deployment. His sniper will be right here. He had forgotten they didn't get any reserves until I reminded him. So the sniper will go right there. And we got a bunch of Fusiliers and a Camus over here. Same as a Fusilier with a grenade launcher. Palbot was not in the list, so it was actually not here. It was taken off before we started. There's a Fugazi, Tech B, which will end up being his data tracker as well. You can see one camo token right here, which is the first Zulu Cobra. There is a camo token, next to the Tech B, who's a Helot, Mulebot, Fugazi, Traumadoc, Zulu Cobra camo token, Helot camo token, and that is everybody. Of course, the Echo Bravo is off the board. A slightly better view of that. Same thing, right? Zulu Cobra, Helot. Okay, on my side of the board, 2 Imatrons. Originally, I had them both back behind the wall here, but I've been being punished for that often, getting a shotgun that kills them both at once. So I tried to spread them out a little bit. This is Karnau over here, sort of covering that side. Got the slave drone up here. Slave drone's a little bit far forward deployed, and that is because it has eyes on an attack route, right through here, where that camo token is going to be coming. And I want to try to discover it as it goes by there. All right, Dotaratsai back here. Nexus Hacker here. Q-Drone HMG, again, kind of covering that same route, right? Through there, depending on what happens, you might get some coverage there. Avatar over here up against that building. Right next to the Avatar, the Kurgat. Important that the Kurgat is next to the Avatar and not the slave drone, because if a Zulu Cobra does get up there and start jamming things, you could jam the Avatar. You can't jam the Kurgat. And I can walk over there and repair it. It's not that big of a deal. Yes, I'll be a lost lieutenant for a turn, but it doesn't get you any points in this game. Okay. And over here, we have the Icodron. Again, he's covering this alleyway right here and providing repeater coverage up here. Here's my HVT. Okay. There's my impersonator in the one painted building in the middle, in the corner there. And this is my opponent's first turn. He's moving up. The Zulu Cobra comes up to the panoply here, reveals himself to loot the panoply, and gets +1 armor. Spend some time recamoing and coming down over to here, where he can see the Imatron that I left out, and it kills that. Also takes a shot at the Dotaratsai here. The Dotaratsai throws smoke and is successful, putting the smoke down like that. It basically stymies that attack. The Avatar has a little bit of line of fire, like out through here, so he doesn't come out any farther than that. On the other side, the Zulu Cobra moves up. It's underneath the little overhang here. Does indeed get discovered by the slave drone. Tucks back into the corner there, but I can still see him with the slave drone there, so he can't recamo. Then he just does some shuffling around, moves up his Fugazi, moves over his Mulebot over here. Wasn't totally sure what he was doing at that point. Maybe just trying to get coverage on area in case I had hidden things to play. I don't know. But he just shuffled them around, that was it. All right, so here's my turn. And I'm trying to figure out what the Avatar can see when he jumps up on this building. You see the Q-Drone suppression, to that in a moment. And I got a couple of good lines of fire over here on some soft targets. I can also see the Camus sniper, who I just have no desire to fight whatsoever. So I don't. What I do is I move up the Icodron to about here, where the sniper cannot see it, and then I throw white noise down here, which blocks all that from the Fusilier. Excuse me, from the Camus sniper. Okay, there's the Camus sniper when I'm blocking line of fire too, but I can see past it to the Fugazi and the, I can't see it in that picture, but also the other Mulebot and the, there's the Mulebot that I kill, and the Zulu Cobra, the one who killed the Imatron. Yeah, and I kill all of them with a multi-HMG. And then I hop back down over here. So positioning is sort of important here. You note that I'm not touching the building. I'm not worried about the cover. What I'm worried about is the Zulu Cobra. Again, he's over there. He's going to work his way up here, be right in this area. And the building's basically just 8 inches or just under 8 inches. So I don't want him to be able to jam me through the building. Again, he can't jam this guy, so don't worry about it. If he wants to spend time jamming the Icodron, that's fine. He can have fun with that. So if he comes into the building, I can see him. he gets within 10 of me, I'll Sepsitor him. Right, that'll be great. He can jam me all he wants. I don't care then. Yeah, and then I do a little bit of suppression fire. These three and Kurnow, who's way over there, is also on suppression fire. I love my Q-Drone on suppression fire, especially when there's going to be tight fighting like this. It gets to stack mods of suppression, mimetism, cover, and I'm throwing back 3 dice, right? It's pretty good. And if they engage me from over 24 with something, I just break suppression fire, right, and keep rolling 4 dice. It's great. Yeah, that was pretty much the end of my first turn. There's Kurnow, also on suppressive fire. Okay, so the Zulu Cobra is moving up right through here. That's the first thing my opponent does. No, this is a picture of just my Echidron having moved back. Remember, it moved up so I could lay the white noise where I wanted it. It also moved back over to here, so it's just in the same position as in at the start of it. Okay, so the Zulu Cobra moves up, peeks around the corner, puts the Q-Drone unconscious, despite all those mods I stacked. The Varuna, everybody having ballistic skill 13, like all the combat pieces, is great. Like, that's just really deadly. So he then tucks in behind this building over here. And I think before he does that, he finishes off the Q-Drone with another burst of assault pistol fire. Yeah, and then a Teo Camo token, which is the Crocman Assault Hacker, which of course I don't know, but I do assume it's an Assault Hacker. It moves up inside this building, goes like into that corner right there, which is really good positioning, right? Because there's only one door over here. There's also a window over there. And it's, you know, threatening that whole range. If the Avatar moves up, he can try to hack it. He can't possess me, because I'm an Avatar, but he could, you know, try to immobilize me or oblivion me. Those are real attacks for sure. Okay, that was really all my opponent did in his turn. So this is my turn, where you can see the Zulu Cobra unconscious. The Echidron is now gone. He killed it as well. He got burned, but made his save. You know, doesn't have his camo anymore. But what happened in this attack was the Kurgat moves up along the side over here when the Zulu Cobra was facing this way. He makes his turn to face and, you know, rotates around, so I do not come around the corner yet. This is where my opponent comments that when you're relying on these jammers to disrupt your enemy, Morats really shine. Right? 'Cause I'm wandering around, you can't jam me, it's great. What I do then is the Dadarazai runs up over here behind him and chain rifles him. He does a turn to face dodge and stays where he is, does not actually turn to face me because he doesn't want the Kurgat coming over here and shotgunning him in the back. So the Dadarazai stands here and spends like 2 or 3 orders pistoling him in the back until I eventually do indeed put him unconscious. And then Dadarazai runs back over there in preparation for the next turn. Avatar just kind of scoots over a little bit, giving itself better fire lanes, at least what I hope are better fire lanes. And that was pretty much all I did in my turn. Yeah, there's the camo token you can see inside there, which as we know is the Assault Hacker. Okay, this Echo Bravo shows up on my far left flank, and he just does a stellar job. He moves up as far as he can without being seen by the Avatar, who can see like this, but there's a defilade created by this building, so the Zulu can, or the Echo Bravo can go prone and like crawl over here where he sees Kurnow. Kurnow tries to dodge, his hyperdynamics doesn't save him, and he goes unconscious. He then comes up to this point on the building, where he shoots down to the other side of the board to that Kurgat. Kurgat fails his dodge, is hit by 1 combi rifle round, saves, and then fails his guts test to fall back. Remember I was talking about how good Morats are and they shine? Yeah, this is their downside, right? Like, anybody else could have just fallen back and been saved. But no, I stay there. So a second round of fire by the Zulu Cobra kills the Kurgat. Third round kills the Dadarazai, who has his back facing the Echo Bravo. And then he moves into this room and sends out his Wild Parrot, which runs over here and is threatening the Avatar. And there's Kurnow. Hyperdynamics never saves him. There's the Kurgat. If he just, you know, fallen back. These are 2 mines that I put out on my last turn to cover these different areas of attack. This one is in case the hacker comes out, the Teo Camo hacker wants to come out, and this was to stop a Echo Bravo from coming on the board over here. There's the Dadarazai, who wasn't facing the right way. Okay, so this jumps to the end of the game. I think this is probably the last slide, where the Avatars decided to just rampage out there. Again, that was my plan, right? Survive to the end, run out there, kill as much as I can, score some points. As long as I stop before the Avatar dies, it doesn't really matter what happens to him. He can take wounds, he can be immobilized, none of that really matters. And what the Avatar does is it comes out here and it's getting into a firefight with that sniper that I don't want to fight, right? It takes me 4 orders, I believe it was 4 orders, but I eventually kill it with the multi-HMG. The Helots are firing at me from over there. I take a couple of light rocket launcher hits, I lose my ODD, I eventually take 1 wound from all that. It's armor 9, it's really a beast, right? And then with the last order, I can see through this doorway to the camo token down there, and my opponent has not revealed it to hack me. I actually think he forgot, because he's like, oh, he said something like that, that kind of, I forgot, something really important sound. I didn't think that was that bad though, because if he reveals it, then I can attack it, and it's a big bunch of points. And what I do is I intuitive attack it with my Sepsitor. And that works. He then does, reveal to fire back to make it a face-to-face roll. But he fails against my whip 17 and fails the damage roll against the damage 17 Sepsitor, and then I take him. And that really did switch it, because the game was very, very close in points. As you can see here, I had 199 surviving, and he had 179 surviving. So that Croc Man definitely would have swung that. He's like a 38-point model or something like that. Objective points are also very close, 5-3. He got more panoplies, more specialists, and I don't remember what the other thing was for the third, but I had more army points, and I secured his HVT at the end as well. Yeah, that was pretty much it. So two major wins, one minor win. That was enough to secure first place in this event. And lastly, we have a little group shot of the Avatar and his crew. I really enjoy playing limited insertion. That's my favorite way to play Infinities, limited insertion. So being able to play a 10-order list in a non-limited insertion environment is a lot of fun and enjoyable. I don't know how good it is. It's really mission dependent. Like I liked it a lot for Firefight. I don't know if I'll do that again or if it'll be the same list, but I do like Mr. Big Pants. He's great. He's beautifully painted by a friend of mine. All right, that is all I got. Thank you all.